So I got offered a scholarship at AIS, and I knew that some of the world's best athletes train there and I'd get a lot of support there. So I decided, pretty much 2 days after they offered it to me, that I was going to take the opportunity and move to Canberra without my family and really live outside my comfort zone. Anyway, I arrived at AIS and I was living in an environment with gold medalists, and I was eating with them and sharing accommodation with them and training with them. And I was really exposed to a very different world. It really surprised me the amount of effort that goes from getting a silver in Beijing to getting a gold in London. The amount of effort that has to go into that. That the London Paralympics was a time where a lot of issues in my life all came together and shaped me into a very resilient person and a very strong-willed person. When you're competing for 10 days, it's very hard to have as much energy on day 10 as you did in day 1. And I think that's where a Paralympic Games, it all comes down to mental toughness. It doesn't matter how much you've been physically training. If you're not mentally tough, you're not going to make it. I went to the Paralympic trials with a lot of expectation on me. I was an AIS athlete, I'd Australian swim team captain, and all these medals behind my name and a lot of expectation heading into London. Everyone knew that I was going to make the team because I'd been training so hard. I was looking really good in the water. I had huge muscles on me. I looked like Arnie Schwarzenegger. But I went into the trials and I qualified in my very first race, which is so exciting for me. It was a really tough time after the trials because I came home and my coach had to resign, unfortunately, from the AIS. So, I was heading into the world's most important competition and something that I've been training for since I was 3 years old. Without a coach, so that wasn't exactly ideal. However, AIS employed a new coach for me. He was, a local coach. I'd seen him around before and I knew who he was. And his name was Steve, and he was such a great guy. And Steve was one of those guys that put a different spin onto training and was a really positive guy and made me laugh. And I really felt like heading into the games, I had a collaborative effort with my coach, and that's really what you need. You need that support like that. One day Steve said to me that he never misses a training session in his life, and I'm thinking this guy's the greatest guy in the world, he never misses training. And then the next morning I went to training and Steve didn't turn up, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, coaches, they're just making stuff up all the time. So I got in and trained, and I went to the gym after my huge breakfast, and then I had the CEO of Swimming Australia call me and say that my coach had had a stroke in the middle of the night. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, I was ragging on him this morning about his commitment to the program, and he's had a stroke, the poor guy. And I didn't know what to do with myself. Obviously, I wasn't focused for the rest of the week. So I had to actually move to Queensland with 2 days notice into a house that Swimming Australia owns. Heading into the Sunshine Coast, I was in a program where they trained sprint-based specific work, and I was training for a 400 when I was at AIS, and all of a sudden my whole training program had been changed 6 weeks out from the Games. So my second event of the competition was the 100 metres backstroke, and that was really exciting for me because I'd done 3 years of backstroke work and I was sick of backstroke and I just wanted to get it over and done with. So I was really excited to just jump in and do my race.
Here's a special moment for Ellie.
And then I walked out onto pool deck thinking, this is it. 8 years of training is going to be over and done with in 5 minutes time. I'm going to be in the cool down pool, and I might be a gold medalist, I might not be. I have no idea what's about to happen.
She's the fastest qualifier. Can this be her moment?
I knew that if I had swum my first lap and did my tumble turn in front of everybody else, that I would win the race, because I'm a back end swimmer, which means that my last 50 is better than my first 50.
Away!
And everyone else usually, fatigues and dies off a little bit, but I usually power through.
Watching for Ellie, she got probably the best of the start, although Millwood started very well alongside her.
So I thought, I'm just going to turn in front of everyone and hold on for dear life. So I started the race, cool, calm and collected, stayed within my race plan, did my tumble turn, had a bit of a sneaky look to the girl next to me who was my main competitor. And she was right next to me, and I was thinking, great, she's going to die off and I'm going to win this. So within the first 50 metres I knew I'd won the race, just from that alone, because I knew my other competitors so well. And I thought, okay, I know I won this race, I'm just going to try and break the world record now. And I knew that the world record holder was sitting in the stands, and I would have loved to have done it in front of her.
but Ellie has taken control now. Ellie Cole of Australia ready to win gold with 15 metres to go. She's gone a body length clear. This has been a masterful performance. She's had to deal with champions all through her life, and now she's a champion as well. She's a gold medalist. Gold to Ellie Cole of Australia, 1 minute 9.42.
People always think it's the most exciting moment of your life, but to be honest, it's the most relieving moment of your life, just to win. I was so relieved.
Ellie, you've done it. That was wonderful. Ellie Cole, she is such a character, such a wonderful team leader.
I walked up on the medal dais and I looked across at my mum, and she was bawling her eyes out, and it made me laugh. I was laughing on the dais because of that. And she got herself so worked up that she had to seek medical attention. An ambulance, a paramedic had to go and see her in the grandstands.
Ellie Cole for Australia, 20 years of age.
So my 100 metres freestyle race, I stood up on the blocks and I knew that it was going to be the last time I was ever going to race my hero again, so I was very upset.
But Natalie Detoy,
I didn't once go into the race thinking that I could win it.
a little bit out on her own, really.
So I only breathed on the one side, and the side that I was breathing on wasn't on Natalie's side.
Away. Ellie Cole seemed to get away pretty well, and Ellie Cole is in the mix well and truly.
I was swimming the race, and in the last 50 I was breathing to one side and I couldn't see Natalie, and I just assumed that I was coming second. I'm thinking in the race, sweet, I'm coming second right now in 100 metres freestyle, which I don't even swim. That's pretty good. So I just wanted to stay in front of the girl who was next to me. So I was breathing to my one side, saying, yeah, I'm coming second, this is amazing.
Can Ellie do a Matt Cowdery? I think she can. She's finishing very strongly. Natalie Detoy joins in the chase. Ellie Cole of Australia in front. This will be huge if she can win the 100 free as well as the 100 back. She hits the wall. Gold to Australia. Gold to Ellie Cole. Magnificent swim. Oh, Ellie, that was superb.
And I touched the wall and I hear my mum just go ballistic. So that's when I knew that I'd won a silver medal. And then I look up onto the diving blocks, and on the diving blocks it had one light would illuminate if you'd won gold, 2 lights if you won silver, and 3 lights if you won bronze. And I looked up and I saw one light and I'm thinking, nah, there is a fault in this block. What is going on? So I still hadn't believed that I'd won. From hearing my mum scream and from seeing that light, it still didn't occur to me that I could have beaten Natalie Detoy. Like, it just didn't occur to me. And I look over at the scoreboard and I saw that I'd won. And to be honest, it was very exciting for me because it was unexpected. And I laughed when I won. Like, most people don't laugh when they win a Paralympic gold medal. But I was just so happy, and it's so unexpected that I just had a bit of a laugh. And I was like, yeah, good on you, Ellie. Gave myself a bit of a pat on the back. And then I looked at Natalie and felt terrible.
I'm sure that will mean so much to Ellie Cole, and they're a special coming together of 2 champs.
Annabelle, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to start with Ellie because that was one of the surprises of this meet. What a sensational swim.
Yeah, that was definitely a big shock. I've never been a 100 freestyler before, and I don't know what changed then, but I was a bit worried after this morning's swim because I swam a 104 and it really hurt, so I just went out there and did my own race plan tonight. And actually, it didn't really hurt. I had so much adrenaline. I just, sprinted back home and touched the wall, and I heard my mother screaming, so I knew that I'd won.
It's going to be Australia taking the gold medal. It's going to be a new world record. 3 seconds inside the record. Louise walking on Great Britain. They're all neck and neck now. There's 3 metres to go. It's a blanket finish. It goes to lane number 2. Australia. What drama in the pool.
I've just had shoulder surgery on my right shoulder so I can get back in the pool soon, which I'm very excited about. I spent an hour and a half in the operating theatre and then, came out, and I was actually surprisingly awake after surgery, which is not very common apparently. As soon as I woke up, I wanted to eat food, which is uncommon as well, and I was awake. So I think that was a key sign that my recovery was going to be, pretty quick. It's been a week now and I can move my shoulder around a fair bit, and You know, Mum's telling me to slow down and the surgeon's telling me to slow down, but I'm just really excited to get back into the pool. I just had news from Swimming Australia that they're thinking of launching a new AIS Paralympic swimming program that is not residential, but they'll pay for accommodation elsewhere for you to live. And I'm actually looking into taking that up again.